From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Morreale and Hitch.
All right, good morning, everybody. It's the Morreale and Hitch podcast here on another, I don't know, I think it's a Tuesday. Is it a Tuesday? No, it's Wednesday today.
Wednesday.
I'm Mike Morreale. That's Rob Hitchcock. I'm exhausted. Well, I know we'll get into your little adventure last week, but do you have allergies, like seasonal allergies?
Leaking.
They won't go away.
No, leaking.
They won't go away.
No.
This is crazy.
Do you take anything like Claritin or anything like that?
I used to, but then sometimes it just makes me like not feel good. So I just switched it up and do nothing, but that's not working either.
I heard if you take a lot of that'll go away.
That'll fix up everything.
Everything. Ask Butko. Butko might know.
Hey, but we'll come back to Butko later. Hey, special guest appearance again today. This is becoming a habit, a regular occurrence. This is exciting. Any idea? What do you think?
Well, I think our beautiful executive producers are saying that we need somebody because we have no more content. I have no idea. Like Flutie blew my mind.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago, but Danny Mac, I kind of figured he would be in there somewhere, but this time I have no clue. Like honestly, I have no clue. You?
I have no idea, buddy. I
think it's going to be someone from the past, like maybe like an old, maybe from another team, maybe. I don't know.
This is what I'm thinking, because we were kind of tipped off that we had to go at a certain time because this person was traveling and had to be in their hotel room at a certain time. So I'm just going to deduce and work backwards and say, okay, is this somebody that maybe is involved in the CFL now, travels around? Maybe on the broadcast side, maybe some guys maybe you played with, I played against. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We'll just figure it out.
We're not going to be prepared anyway. We'll just have to ask the same questions. But how about we got to get in before this special guest comes on. We do have to talk about the Cats last week, and that's got to be a priority of our show each week. And I don't know. I didn't watch it because I watched it. I PVR'd it and I came home late from a golf thing and I watched it with a few beers in me. And I think the score was 24-6 going into the fourth quarter. If I'm not mistaken.
I think they were up 25 at one point.
Yeah.
Or
20, it was 24-3 or something like that. And then fourth quarter, Calgary just came back. And when I woke up, I didn't watch all of it. It was late. So I watched it the next day and it was 33-30. I couldn't believe they lost. Like, what's happening?
I don't know. That hurts. At home, home opener.
And
Evan going into fourth.
Oh, Evans throws for like 408.
I know.
And they lose. I don't know. Well, you know what?
Calgary's there was a quarterback sneak that I guess the ball got ripped out. I heard Dane say something about, he thought that the whistle should have gone based on how historically those whistles go. At the end of the day, listen, it is what it is. You got to play the game on the field. It's going to be called a certain way. You got to just do it, and you can't blow a 20-something point lead. At the end of the day, that's the most important.
Well, I guess the good thing is Hamilton does have, well, not the good thing. They have Winnipeg this week, and then Edmonton, then a bye, then Ottawa, BC. So it's not a crazy schedule the next 4 weeks, but you look at the standings and Toronto's 1-0 and the rest of it is 0-2, but those scores, they do not reflect the record, in my opinion. I mean, Saskatchewan shouldn't have won. I think they should. I mean, I think Toronto beat Montreal 20-19 on Thursday. But there's three teams in the West right now that are 2-0. I mean, Edmonton's 0-2, but anyways, I just don't, I hope they pick it up. I mean, they've got a great squad. They got a good veteran squad, great coaching staff. Coach O will have them prepared again this week. And I hope we see something. I hope we see a win because
it's a long season.
Oh, that's very long.
But you got to start. You want to start with a few W's, right? It's always listen, winning solves everything. Everything.
Like you said, long season, and you can get into the playoffs with a 7-win record, right? 7 or 8 wins, you're in. Oh man.
You made some stats there. What are your stats? Let me see what
no, those are my stats. I couldn't remember 1-0 and 0-2. I couldn't remember that for everybody. So those are my stats. But anyways, I hope I don't know. It's frustrating for me because we're such fans. And we watch the games, except I did watch a PVR, but I didn't get to watch it live. But anyways, I'm passionate about the game still. I know as you are as well, and we just want to see them win. Not just for the fans, but for themselves. And you're right; it's a long season, and there's lots of games to go. So nobody was ever the 14. Well, I think we probably have about 16 people looking at this now because of Flutie. People like Flutie.
Wow, Flutie like Flutie. People like him. Hey, do you think that I know when I watch football game, I watch it probably different than the normal fan.
Oh.
I would assume I watch it very similar to you, where I actually know what's happening.
Yeah.
So I know if a mistake has been made or not a mistake, and I don't listen to the broadcasters because half the time they may be wrong, they may be right, and you just watch what's on the field. Like it's a different game, I think, when you different watching experience when I think you understand generally what's going on, right?
Well, look when we the huddles and heels, or the what's the last time they called that?
It changed it to
change the names. But anyway, so we used to have 125 women come. We did that exact thing. We kind of taught them to look at the front seven and the offensive defensive linemen and watch the twist game and not just watch the football down the field. And so remember, we kind of teach people that. But on the defensive side of the ball, I love watching when Suter's on. He drives me bonkers. I love Suits, but he's on. He's, oh, well, they were in a cover 3. I'm like, no, they weren't. They were in man-to-man. Don't blame it on that guy. They were in man. What are you talking about? They're in cover 3. Oh, he says that stuff all the time. People just, all the time, because they have no clue. 98% of the people have no idea. Oh, okay, it was Hitchcock's fault because he was supposed to be in the middle. Oh no, he was kind of spying on the quarterback. And no, I remember him saying that. Oh gosh, it's funny.
Hey, listen, you sound rough from your golf, man.
Yeah, we had a 3-day, it's called the Gentleman's Invitational at our golf club in St. Catharines. It really started last Wednesday and it went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and 54 holes, 9-hole games. And we had a rain out. You'll love this one. We had a rain out on Thursday. So we played 9 holes in 8.5 hours, 9 holes.
Oh my God.
There was 4 weather delays because of lightning, and we were at the halfway house. So I just got my bill. I looked at the chits. 3 days at the halfway house, $560, 3 days. And it was just me and my partner, Jordan, my nephew, 2 of us, $560. I don't know.
What the hell happened?
Well, I saw fireballs and Jaegers and double rise and hot dogs. And I said, there's got to be a mistake. So I went through it again. I'm like, no, we were there for those times. They were there for those hours. So,
oh my God.
That's nothing. Awesome. My buddy, Scotty DeMont, he's over 900. 900. Like, how does that work in 3 days? And just in booze. So anyways, it was a 3-dayer and it ended on Saturday, and the wives came on Saturday. That Michelle wasn't too happy to show up because she knows there's a bunch of drunks that are putting on the green jacket, the winners. And it was fun. It's once a year, and I look forward. It's the only 3-day Gentleman's Invitational in Ontario. There's 1 day and 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, only 3-day one in Ontario, but it's a long 3 days, believe me.
Okay, let's stick with golf because I want your opinion on this. What about this? Was it live or live open? What is this thing? Now Kepka's going over there? That's big.
It's big. There's a lot of good names, like some names that you probably wouldn't recognize if you're not a golf fan, but there's, I think, 8 or 10 that are over there right now. They offered Tiger a billion to go. $1 billion. He said no.
$1 billion.
Phil Mickelson, who's
it was like 250 or something.
200. Yeah, he's built like a bag of milk, and he's they offered him 250 million, and he's gone. But the problem, see, what the thing is these guys are smart because they're members of the PGA, correct? Like these guys are all members of PGA. But if they go and they take this, their membership is now null and void. They're not allowed to play in any of those, but they're still allowed to play in the 4 majors, the Masters, the US Open, because they're independent. So these guys can come back from there, get their couple $100 million, and they play as teams. It's a different aspect out there. They play as a team game. So it's not necessarily an individual thing each week. And they come back and they can play in all 4 majors. That's all these guys want to do anyway, is play in the majors and win that. They don't care about the Bridgestone Club, whatever these other ones are. They don't care about that. But they're playing everywhere. And I tell you, I think it's going to fly just because these Saudi guys, they got some money. But I was saying, a couple of my buddies were talking about it. It's like, well, you sign this contract, but you don't know the small print or the invisible
fine
print that
print.
says that if you don't show up for a tournament, that we're going to take your aunt and cut her. You know what I mean? Like you don't know any of that stuff. Like something's going to happen.
No,
These
there's the
guys
hidden
better watch
rules,
out.
buddy.
They got to watch out.
Don't
There's
screw
rules.
them over.
You don't show
Don't
up, you're
screw them
dead.
over.
You're going to be dead.
And then I heard the PGA all of a sudden today is announcing that they're going to up the prize money for the next tournament or a couple. I'm like, well, why didn't you do it in the first place?
Yeah. Well,
You know,
the Tiger is the one that got golf. I mean, those guys, Jack Nicklaus and those guys were getting like 25 grand to win a. I mean, mind you, it was back in the 70s and 80s, but as soon as Tiger hit it in the 90s, everyone started picking up a golf club, and now you're looking at $2 million, $1 million, $1.5 million for these purses to win these things. Guys were making 50 grand last time, 100 grand when they're in the game. But
game
anyways,
changer, buddy.
Yeah.
Are we almost ready here, Bucko? Do we have our person on the line? Not, eh? Whoever this person is going to be right on the dot. Okay, what do you got there?
Well,
I put it in
the dishwasher and I took it off, and I thought it was like, so it must be a little sticker because I just took it out of the dishwasher and it's gone. It's gone.
Okay, Bucko, your job is to alert us to when our guest is on the line, and we'll do the welcome when that happens. But no, it's the weather's changing, man. It's hot. Last couple of days is about time. It really is about time.
I should have a Kleenex in here because I'm leaking. It's crazy.
Oh, it's so bad.
And you're bad. You've always been bad. Your eyes got bad. I remember when you used to play.
Bad.
Eyes were bad all the time.
Right around this time of year, bad.
Yeah.
Now just blame it on that.
Yeah. That wasn't walking by with that lemon or orange rind and squeezing in people's eyes. You used to do that, remember?
You see the line, right?
The line.
I remember being at Filthy's and back at the Filthy McNasty's for those people who don't know. And, you know, we were playing at the time. So we had all these fans that wanted to chat. And sometimes you just want to have a drink and not worry about it. I remember one guy in Burlington kept annoying me. So I was drinking like a vodka soda, just took the line when he wasn't looking, right in the eye. He went down for the count, opened the other one, got the other one. That was it.
Did you do that to Osh?
Give me some space.
Did you do that to Osh?
Oh, yeah.
Osh was big at that. Osh loved doing that. I remember that.
Yeah. He would hurt you too, though. There was a few guys you couldn't mess around with. Osh was one of them because it'd get you back 10 times more. Philbrick was another one. I wouldn't trust Philbrick.
No.
And Belly. Those three, and there's probably more, but those three, you just knew if you played a prank on them, they were going to prank you back.
Yeah,
in a much bigger way.
Yeah,
in a much bigger way.
Yeah, you had to pick and choose your guys. That's for sure. We preyed on some guys that just, you know, we knew that they were going to either get cut or
we preyed on the weak, Hitch. We preyed on the weak.
Yeah. Do you remember the training camps at Brock when we used to grab some of the rookies' equipment and we used to soak it and then throw it in the big freezers, and then we'd put it on like a couple of broomsticks on the way down to Alfie's trough for breakfast, and we'd have it on, and there would be a frozen like the shoulder pads would be on, but the frozen jersey, the pants were frozen, the shoes were frozen. Then we hung. Then I don't know who did it. It was the Phantom, but I don't know who did it. But they actually went up on the roof at Brock and they tied they made like a scarecrow person with all the guys' number on it. That was the rookie's number. And we used to hang it. It was like 60 feet in the air. These guys all night long, that's what they were doing. I remember.
Danny Mac said no more Phantom.
Well,
no more Phantom.
There can't be a Phantom now. The people are they wouldn't know how to act if they found their equipment on top of a roof 50, 60 feet up.
No. Yeah,
no, they would cry.
They'd be cry. That's what they'd feel like they were offended and taken advantage of, and they would cry that somebody treated them poorly.
How about when we used to go to Sunshine Bakery and we asked for the porchetta, the head.
Oh,
remember? And I took it home. I'll never forget. They had this porchetta head and they threw it into a garbage bag, and I threw it into two more, and I had to wait a day. So I picked it on my way home from practice, and we were doing this the next day to one of the rookies. And it was in my trunk in the heat.
Oh, poots.
It was, and I had a double bagged. We got in there, and I forget who it was. Bailey, big guy. No, no, it wasn't him because he would have killed us. Wasn't him. Anyways, it was a guy that was bugging us.
Did we do it to LaPointe or anybody like that? Did we give him the handoff? I can't remember.
Well, the handoff was, Danny might handed off the head, but this was, I think it was the same head because before this kid got into practice, I shoved the pig head in his helmet.
Remember?
And the whiskers were hanging out. And it was when he came in, he didn't see it. It was leaking down his stuff. And then you have to picture the lockers. He's sitting down and we're all kind of waiting there with anticipation. Next thing you know, he turns up to grab something and he jumped back. 5 feet, and Bugsy wouldn't clean his helmet. He went in to try to wash it out in the grease with the water. Water just kept coming out. So he had to wear that helmet. He put a bandana on. The grease was coming down his sides. And then we used it and handed it off to LaPointe. I think Danny Mac.
It was LaPointe, right?
I don't know if it was D Mac. Was he there? I don't think he was there.
No, I think it was. I think it was either LaPointe or Jared Smith or somebody got the handoff. I can't remember.
Yeah, they did the switcheroo with the ball and they snapped it and handed it to him and he ran with it for about 3 seconds and looked down. There's just grease all over his hands. That was fun. Oh
that's the real pigskin, buddy.
That was at Brian Timmons. Hey, Brian Timmons.
It was.
No longer.
Bucko, he doesn't even answer anymore. He's given up.
This guy's traveling right now.
Whoever this person is probably has the same problem getting on that Danny did, which was. Did you listen to to our show last week where Danny tried to get on? They cut it down. They cut no joke. They must have cut 10 minutes of him trying to get on.
20 minutes. Yeah, for sure. Classic. Well, okay, that ends our show. Thank you.
Yeah, see you later. We lost Butko now. We don't know what's going on. We don't have a guest.
How about the Jays? Have you been watching it? I haven't been a big baseball fan. Just, I always said I'd rather watch paint dry, but last year they got a great team. And this year, I mean, they were like 500 for bid and then bam, they've just won so many. Like that's a dynamic team. Young, eh? My God, those guys.
You know what? They're so talented that they can rip off 10, 12 runs a game.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, against the Yankees the other day, they're down like 10-2, the grand slam, and then a 3-run homer, and they end up winning 11-10 or something. I mean, ridiculous.
But to me, that's what's exciting about baseball. Yeah. I'm not a purist in baseball where there's some purists that they go and they got their charts and they sit in the stands, they chart pitch counts and numbers. And
no.
Come on. Who's got time for that?
That doesn't happen.
But you show me some home runs and some big plays and some good pitching and catching, I'm good. I still think the only guys that deserve to get paid are the catcher and the pitcher. Those are the guys that are actually doing something on every single play.
There's some guys in right or left field or even center field that don't catch a ball all game. Nothing. They just stand there.
They're paid $1 million.
Chewing tobacco. Yeah, $1 million a game. Yeah, chewing tobacco in, waving at the fans. They don't do this though, like I used to do.
No. Well, now you can't even lift your arm.
I can't.
What's wrong with you? You're falling apart. Butko left us. He gave up. Guest said, forget it. He was
okay. So what's going on with I know you're getting ready. What's up with basketball for you?
Oh, it's been crazy. We're at the halfway point now. So that's it came fast, which is kind of crazy. We got a big run of games coming out at the beginning of July, all on CBC. So we're kind of getting ready for the playoff run. Everybody's crowded, man, in the middle. Hamilton's leading the way. Niagara's right there with them. We got a couple teams at the bottom need some work, and then there's a log jam of at least 6 teams at like 4-4, 5-3.
How many games do you have? 20?
20, yeah.
20. Hey, that was a good guess. That was a good guess.
It was a good guess.
That's
20. Crazy. Oh my God, how the hell did that happen?
When are you going to give me some tickets? Because I don't pay for this stuff.
Anytime you want to come. When you want to, you never call me.
Well,
what do you want me to do?
Never ask.
I gotta ask you to call me.
Yeah. I definitely want to go. I definitely want to. He'll take Matt and maybe a couple of his buddies.
Anytime. Niagara's a great place to watch a game. The Meridian Center is a very well built building.
Yeah.
Like it's good for hockey.
Perfect.
It's good for basketball, which is rare because when you play sports other than hockey in arenas, sometimes it's like
Yeah,
right, because they're all built for hockey.
I remember just going to watch before you took over, just the River Lions, and there wasn't a very good product on until you cleaned that up and made it an awesome league. But now it's awesome. But I used to go watch the River Lions, and they still used to have like 2,000 people in there.
Yeah,
and it was decent basketball. It just wasn't what it is now, what you've turned it into. And I tell you, I remember watching the think it was the owner, the guy from Thorold. Yeah, I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
Richard.
I mean, he was so proud. He's sitting in half court seats, and he's sitting there with his beer with his kids and stuff. I'm like, this is awesome. This is cool. But
I think I took Fantus to one of those games too. Were you with me that time?
yeah, I think so. I know.
think that we had a
I
little-
think we were there. We sat on the front row there. We felt like players. I felt like Drake sitting at the front row there. I was sitting there with a beer. I was turning around at everybody, looking at everyone. Oh, you all guys are on the cheap seats.
Absolutely. Oh,
what are those
okay.
seats?
We just got the thumbs up.
Hey, what are those seats worth? What are those seats worth now?
They're about $100, which I got to be honest,
that's pretty good.
Is very inexpensive considering you are literally on the court.
Yeah, you are.
Like there's no better seats in basketball than courtside. Like suites in basketball doesn't afford the same thing, right?
Yeah, you lose it.
You got to sit in the core. Yeah,
all right.
You're not going to pay for these tickets anyway, so don't worry about it. Okay, Robbie, time for our special guest. This is the third week in a row that we are going to be blessed with a special guest in the show. I'm excited. We don't know who the hell it is. Let's just rip off the Band-Aid and figure it out. Butko, would you please let our guest in?
Joe.
I see Joe.
It could be not electric Joe. Not electric Joe. Joe Montford. He's probably having bad connections right now.
Oh Jesus! Here we go. All the guys. If this is guys,
he can't even turn his camera
90s,
on. Can't turn his camera on. Oh my
Hey, there he is.
Joe.
What's up, buddy? Oh,
you got an angel on your shoulder.
Can you hear us? Oh, Butko, for God's sakes, again.
Tell him to stand. Tell him to get away from the sun. We can't see his face. Move to the right or left, Joe.
Look at this guy's face.
Oh my God.
He can't hear anything.
He's traveling.
Where's he traveling?
Oh, you haven't connected the mic.
All right,
here we go again.
Joe for a bit.
This is going to be.
Go again.
This show is going to be. Oh, you got to cut everything out again. You got to put in about 30 seconds of it, and then. Oh my gosh.
All right. Okay. What do you think?
Joe is connecting to audio.
Let's see. Did it work? Unmute it, Joe. Are you there, buddy? Are you there, Joe? Oh.
Look at the neck beard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. He's gonna hang out.
Wait. Now it's just
I think he just smashed his computer.
Wait. Are you
okay,
Joe?
I think I'm in now. Hello.
Hey. Oh man.
Gentlemen.
Listen, you're the third guest in the row on this show. The first one, believe it or not, was Darren Flutie, which we never expected that in a million years. He got on the show extremely well, and it took him 35 minutes to find out how to get off the show. Last week, we had Danny Mack on the show. It took him 35 minutes to get on the show. And now we have you who can't get on the show. So we're off to a great start, buddy. It's great seeing you again, fella.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, hey, gentlemen, how y'all?
You got to move over a little bit to your right or left because you got some angel big sunshine on your back. There you go. Now let's see that handsome neck beard.
I'm in Dallas, Texas for soccer.
Oh, wow. My wife is from Dallas, Texas, Joe. So I bet you it's hot there right now, isn't it?
It's only going to be 101. So I think we're good.
That looks like you're staying in a nice hotel room.
I know, right? Believe it or not, this is the Marriott.
Oh, you better tell them to get some paint on those walls and on the deck outside on the balcony.
I know, right?
How you been, man?
Man, life is good. Life is good.
Good.
Busy.
You look
busy,
good.
man.
You still got your guns, eh? You still got the guns, Joe?
Jack.
Can't lose those.
Got a little bit, baby. Got a little bit.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe, you remember? I know we talked about this, when we're together, but when you first came up here, you asked me that question. You said, hey, man, nice to meet you. What position you play? And I said, safety. You go, damn. You said, I was bigger than you. I was bigger than you.
So I walk up to this guy. I'm like, God, this is a big ass guy right now. I'm like, my goodness. I was like, so man, what position you play? He was like, safety. Shit, I have no chance.
Yeah, but Joe, you got it.
He had that big mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were just looking at his upper body because you didn't look at his legs.
Yeah.
Once you looked at his legs, you knew you were okay.
Once I looked down at his legs, I was like, okay.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe, you don't see calves on horses, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Hey,
Okay,
so look. So
yeah,
one quick. So last week we were in I did my Father's Day trip. So I was out in Michigan. So I always get the question how you started golf. And I was like, these guys from my football team told me to buy some clubs with my Adidas contract. So I was like, okay, that's how I got into golf. But they didn't tell me not to buy they didn't tell me what type of clubs to buy. So I spent my first 5 years of golf or 7 years of golf with these graphite clubs that were bending with all my muscles.
Hey, we can't teach you everything, Joe.
Oh,
I know, right?
I'm surprised you could even swing those graphites. The club was behind your head and your hands were already through the ball.
Exactly. That's exactly what was happening, Rob.
Oh man.
So for our fans,
Okay.
which there's not many, Joe, just so you know, there's not too many. But for our fans, yeah, I don't think Joe needs any introduction, but I will introduce Joe Montford, number 53, the all-time sack leader in Ticat history, Ticat Hall of Famer, CFL Hall of Famer, all around amazing dude. I mean, when we played, Joe, you were the man. Like you were the man. Like people needed to know where Joe Montford was on the field if you're an opposing player. Like if we're, as an offensive guy, whether it's in practice or not, you need to know where Joe is. Rob, you were on the same side of the ball as him. So how good was it having Joe on that field with you, man? It must have been like amazing.
Well, I could always cheat to the opposite side because I knew he was going to get there. So I could always move and make a pick on the other side. But yeah, just having, I mean, we've talked about this numerous times. Joe, you were just such a dominant force out there for any offensive lineman. And I know when Dave Hack used to talk about it and just say that just going up in practice against you and we had Tim Terry the 1 year and just some of the guys that we had, but especially you, just going up and making our offensive linemen so much better because they got to practice with the best. And, your career was, off the charts, well-deserved. You are third in tackles now. Simone Lawrence went ahead of me. So
did Lawrence get you?
He got me last year. So you're third now, bud. So I'm second.
Oh my God. It keeps going. It keeps getting better and better, right?
In about 20 years, we're going to be like 40th. So don't worry about it. It's all good.
Okay.
But yeah. So Joe,
great player.
Yeah. We had such, and then all the times with my induction, when the 99 players came, we had such a great time, and I don't know how it felt like with you, but when we were there, it felt like, we didn't see each other for a lot of years. Some of these guys I haven't seen Teagues for, 15, 20 years. And all of a sudden it was like we didn't miss a beat when we got together. Like, tell us about that.
Well, I think one thing about our group, that really helped us was the losses. I mean, anytime you go through adversity, it really weeds out the people that aren't genuine in your life, friends, teammates, coaches, people inside the office, front office people. It weeds out all of that, and when you go 1-17 and 2-16 and you're around a bunch of guys that, you're around more than your family.
Yeah.
It's humbling, because you're supposed to be this, when you get out of high school and when you get out of college, you're supposed to be the guy. But you're 1-17 and you can't call yourself the guy.
Oh, you can.
And so to be able to find humor, to be able to find laughter, to be able to share a deep hug, to be able to talk about things that are going on in your family, with guys that genuinely care about you. I remember going down to Mike Philbrick's house. I mean, I thought Mike Philbrick, if I could say this on the network,
you can.
You can say whatever you want, but
Mike was an asshole.
He still is.
He still is.
But But Philbrick probably was, when out of all the guys, man, probably one of the most loving guys out there. Probably one of the most giving guys in terms of giving information, giving love, and giving understanding of what the CFL really was. You know, a lot of guys from the US didn't know what really what the CFL was. You know, you just go up thinking that, oh, I'm just gonna play ball, I'm gonna kick some butt, and I'm gonna go back to the NFL. You know, it's just a stepping stone, but we found family there. And that's the biggest thing, man. I always said we found family.
Yeah.
That's the truth. You look at, there's a very similar story. You're talking to Darren, you're talking to Dan, he talked to you. When Danny and Darren came to us in 1998, we just finished, I think, a 2-16 season. Like we were not good. And from the inside and maybe in and around Hamilton, Hamilton is the greatest place to play, and it's the toughest place to play at the same time, right? Because if you're winning, things are good. If you're losing, they're going to let you know. But, so in and around Hamilton, after a 2-16 season, we're not highly regarded. But here we have arguably one of the best coaches of all time in Ron Lancaster, Danny Mac, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and Darren, one of the best receivers of all time, that saw something about us that we didn't even see. Well, I think our core saw it, like our guys saw it, but no one else around us saw it. And, I'll speak, they probably saw a lot more, promise with the defense, because they were going up against them every day. And in those games, they kept saying, like when we played Hamilton, we left those games beat up. Like there were not any easy matches. So it's funny to say that, because I think they saw the family that we created even amidst all the adversity. Because usually adversity, you guys are going all different directions, and it ruins the whole locker room and the teamwork and all that stuff. But man, for us, it kind of made us stronger,
Well, I can tell you that, talking with Flutes and Danny Mac, the only reason that they came to us in 98 is because they saw us at the bar after the game when we played them.
Well,
and they said,
enough.
We're going to go with those guys. Those guys are good. No,
well,
we didn't go to the bar. We didn't go to the bar.
Hey, to that point, Mike, we fought like hell to win games. We just couldn't win games. I mean, we put it all, and this was offense and defense. Offensively, we just didn't have a direction.
Right.
We didn't know what direction was going. We were, guys were washing clothes in the facility and trying to watch film work. Guys were taking video VCRs out of the building. It was crazy. We had no structure. And so I think that's part of what Coach Lancaster saw. If we bring some structure to this team, with Coach Suzy, it's going to be hell. And one more point, man. And I'm sure everybody thinks they have the best fans, but man, when I say the ladies of Hamilton and the fans of Hamilton, that a lot of times guys kid and joke and talk about the cakes and stuff that they will bring and whatever. But my goodness,
cat's claws, yeah.
Man, those ladies will put it down for.
Oh, they took care of us.
For us, man. I'm thankful and grateful every day, not just for them, but for waking up and having to go to 25 Tim Hortons in the morning, to sign autographs, to go into a lounge to sign autographs, to just walk around the city, man, and just see the different, parts of, Hamilton was poverty. Yeah. And to be able to walk in the city and shake hands with people that didn't know where their next meal was going to come. Yeah. It was great. Tony's Corner, those guys, man, just loading you up with food and taking care of you, man. I learned that I love sushi in Hamilton.
See?
I don't know how I did that, but
Oh, it comes from the lake, eh? It's good sushi. It comes right from the lake.
Food from the lake.
To go on that point too, Joe, doing all of our appearances that we did, and I know that you were a huge part of the community and the off season as well, and I was, and Mike was. We used to go to the Children's Hospital all the time, and just as your point, when we used to go and do all these Tim Hortons signings, like there's a difference in the game now. We did that for free because we wanted to do it, right? Because it was the right thing to do. And I'm not saying anything about, I mean, mind you, I'd love to we got paid a little bit here and there. You know, I think they gave us, $25 or $50 or whatever, like parking
money.
pass. But still, to my point, I think it's gotten lost over the last 15, 20 years because organizations have more money now. They're paying, and I think they should get paid. The players should get paid, but we did it a little differently because we knew that we didn't have much cash, or the owners for us back pre Bob Young. You know, it was just one of those things that we knew that we had to do this for ourselves and it would make us better people. And I'm glad we did that opportunity and to go see those kids at the hospital and just see their faces. And, I didn't want to get paid for that stuff because that's something that all of us on that team, especially, just wanted to do anyway. So to that point.
Yeah, well,
Joe.
I think one young guy came in, I forget his name now, and it's like, tell me a little bit about the city, or tell me what I need to do in terms of playing and winning here in Hamilton. And I was like, well, you got to win the crowd, man. Win the crowd. Win the crowd, and you win your freedom. Basically, gladiator. Win the crowd and win your freedom. Don't walk out. Spend time at the stadium. Spend time after the game. Don't be ready to go party. Spend time in the city. Spend time with the fans. And believe me, your play will do its job. You'll be able to do what you need to do on the field, but off the field is what's going to be important for you.
How about Sudsy's best line? If you didn't do that, how about that QEW? You're gonna be on that QEW.
I got a sandwich and a roadmap.
Yeah,
sandwich
and a roadmap. You'll be gone that. Oh my gosh, God rest.
We missed that guy. That's for darn sure. And Ronnie too. I mean, we were blessed to have a lot of great coaches that unfortunately are no longer with us, but taught us so many lessons that how can you not be a better person because of it? I mean, we and then we had good people that we played with, right? Like, and Joe, this is coming from you as an American and a black man to come to Canada and to sit in our locker room and to deal with me and Hitch and all the other idiots that were on the team. Like, what did that feel like for you? Because what did you expect? Like, what was culturally, what did you expect?
So initially, I was like, Mom, I told my mom, who's passed, but I told my mom, I was like, Mom, all the American teams are folding, and I just got drafted to Hamilton. Who knows anything about Hamilton? So my mom goes and buys this big chest. How those big chests you get to go to school to college. And she loads it up with like all these long johns. and all these things. So I get up there, and I coming from an HBCU, which is a little bit different as well. So I'm coming from predominantly black college, so I'm just around all blacks all the time. So of course my hometown was mixed to whatever, predominantly white, but I had been in HBCU for 5 years. So it was like, okay, I'm going to see what this football is like. So I go up, and the football aspect was, it was football. Football's football. But the locker room aspect, to come up at 2-a-days, and the first thing is like, okay, they're fighting over when their beer room is going to open. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to go to the beer room after the first practice? How do you have energy for that?
That is the energy, liquid energy.
That's liquid energy. And so Mike Campbell's first thing, I asked the same question. He said the exact same thing, liquid energy. And so that culture, but one thing I did notice, man, with all this, all this friction between races and stuff like that, I never felt, not me personally, I never felt like there was a difference. It seemed like the shade just blend of gray inside a locker room, man. It was just like, I mean, it was a wonderful thing to see. I just seen, guys just blending together for, not necessarily for the cause of football, but for the cause of the human being inside of them, who they was, who their parents brought them up. I met, people's parents, Coach Sudsy brought his daughter in the locker room. You never know about you're meeting grown men just slightly older than your daughter, and you're bringing them around. You're bringing their daughter around. So the trust that we had for each other and the love that we had with each other was amazing. So yeah, it's definitely warming.
Awesome. Great
Yeah,
words.
It's to me, I'm so much better for that experience. I know Hitch is too, and I don't need to speak for him, but that there was no, like, to me, there was no black and white. There was no rookie or vet. Like, we were just it's fit in, just fit in. And
the rookie was just as quick, hot second though. So one thing about, once again, Phil Brick, the butthole, he knew everything about everybody, especially once they made the team, So he told me, hey, Joe, I know you played a few games in Shreveport, but you're not quite a veteran yet. You got like 2 or 3 games. You got about 2 or 3 games left, and we're gonna
so
get
you're
our
still
games.
a rookie.
I'm still a rookie.
That was real. That was real.
So at one point I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this joker. We gonna have to get it on. And for whatever reason, I decided, when he says something to me, I'm gonna get him. It just happened to be I'm naked in the shower. And I don't know how I just and I'm just here like, all right, I'm butt naked in the shower, like, hey man, let's get it on.
Yeah. Oh man.
There was no safe places. You would think that in a shower or a toilet that you'd be safe. In our locker room, you were safe nowhere. You were not safe anywhere.
Hey, the whole waiting for the new guy to go take a dump and get the whole, and I don't know who hated it worse. The new guy who got the big thing of red Gatorade sitting on their head, or Bugsy who has to make a new thing of Gatorade.
Or what's his name? Miley Cyrus. What do we call that one guy who had his arm?
Talking about Donnie?
Donnie who had to put his arm in the 5 yards circle.
So I spoke to Shaggy yesterday, or day before yesterday.
Shaggy.
Oh yeah, Shaggy calls me all the time. And usually we cross paths. He's on BC time. He's out west, as you know. Yeah. But Shaggy was one of our equipment guys, and man, we had so many of those dudes that just, I don't even know if half of them got paid. Honest to God, they were just there because they loved to do it.
Hey, they got a meal. They got a meal, and they love being there. That was it. I loved it.
What was the guy? What was the older guy? Vic? What was his name?
You're talking about Vinny. You're talking about
Vinny.
Oh,
Dennis.
Did you ever get your? We had Denny Bobolo. Do you remember Denny Bobolo, who used to sew up our shirts? Did he ever sew yours up? And he sewed my sleeve shut one day. I couldn't get my arms in.
Oh, Vinny, man, good times.
Oh man,
Vinny used to go up in. Vinny was always at Brock, right? We put him up on the scissor lift to do the video, and then it'd start to rain, and we all leave, and he'd be stuck up there without a key, can't get down. Oh, just there are a zillion stories.
How about when he was stuck up there? And it was such a windy day. The thing was rocking. Sudsy said he's fine, just leave him up there. And then that big. It was like a falcon or something was just cruising around, and we're yelling, look out, man, it's going to come and pick him up, because he was like 5'1", about 88 pounds, soaking wet. We thought this hawk's going to pick him up and drive him away.
Oh, that falcon, we talked to Archie. It was like, Archie, that falcon's going to pick you up, take you away.
He's big.
Man, I love Arch, man. I miss that dude. I was really hoping to see him at our Hitch thing at our reunion.
I'm still working on getting him up there, man, when we all can hang out together, man. Yeah. So, he's slowly getting himself together, man. He had a hard time with his back and whatnot. So he's finally getting it. And then, he lost his mom, who, everybody's mom's pretty close, man. So he's getting it back together, man. And he's doing his thing. So I'm gonna definitely see if I can't get him up.
Well, there's another name going up, I think, on the wall this year, and we're trying to figure out who it's going to be. Do we know yet, Meetsy? Like we talked to Danny Mack last week. We said, man, it's got to be you at some point this year or something. Like, I don't know who else it could be besides D Mack, but
they don't have Danny Mack's name up yet.
No,
not
yet.
Oh, well, it's
No,
coming.
he's got to. I mean, that's a shoe-in for me. Like, that's not even a
Yeah,
question. I mean, just like you two, that's not a
absolutely.
question. That's just, it has to
Absolutely.
happen, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about stuff like that, but it's, I don't think any of us played for the accolades. We played for the Grey Cups and being together, and we were all won all-stars or awards or whatever, and they're great. And maybe when you're older, you tell your kids and tell them you were cool one time. But there's something about, I mean, especially, maybe for Hitch and I and Joe, I know you're an adopted Hamiltonian, but to have your name inside the walls of Tim Hortons Field, I mean, it can't get any better than that.
Yeah,
Can't get any
That
better
is
than that.
that man, to be able to say that, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna move inside, man. I think my phone is burning up out here. It might shut up on me. It is smoking out here. But man, to be able to tell somebody, yeah, nah, man, even to tell, first of all, thank you guys for being there to help present it to me. I mean, it meant so much to have you guys there with me, because that's what we were, family,
Yeah.
and to be able to have my son there to finally see, what his dad did, and to get the love from the fans, and to get my son to usher me through crowds and around the facility, man, and kind of be my bodyguard.
yeah,
And man, oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. And just to say, you know what, your last name is going to be up there.
yeah.
Your last
Forever.
name is going to be up in the stadium forever. That's amazing, son. And he finally got it. It's hard to
Yeah.
tell, your son about what you did, especially when you're from the States, and he'd never seen you really play,
Yeah.
about what you did, especially when you're, like I said, from the States, and you're never seeing it. You're never seeing the game.
Especially
You're never
because
being around
there's
the
no
people.
game. Our games are on Betamax, so they don't even make that anymore. So
Actually,
you can't even
you know
YouTube
what?
it.
You know what is actually a whole lot better now. Like,
Yeah.
it's always, CFL now is on, but back then, of course, you didn't get to see it. And now it's still, it's still the NFL, still the NBA, still, stuff like those sports. But to be able to come to the country where the sport is, and to walk around and talk to the fans, and him really just walk around and really seeing me
Yeah.
See
bumping
the
the
love,
people
right? He saw the love.
he
They
saw the
get it
love,
now.
man. See the jerseys with his last name on it,
Yeah.
still in the
old's he?
stands.
How old's he now, Joe? How old's your boy?
He's 13. He's 13.
Yeah, mine's
Oh
mine's
man,
15.
same with my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's
Yeah.
13. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
that's
sort of
awesome.
thing with Matt and Ava. They're now 17 and 15, and same sort of thing. They didn't see me play, but just walking around, and same thing, just ushering you around, and it's just really cool that I think their eyes opened up and said, "Wow, you did play, Dad." I said, "Yeah, I did, bud." What are you supposed to do? Watch some of the VHS, man. Watch some of the VHS.
Well,
Oh,
listen,
man.
Joe, we're gonna let you get going because you need to cool down. You've been
You
outside.
see my
that heat.
face?
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sweating.
I see.
I'm just sitting there, and I'm the coolest guy all the time.
Well, it's your
Love
neck
it.
beard, eh? Your neck beard's keeping you warm.
Hey guys, you see me growing a little. You remember
Yeah.
I couldn't grow anything?
Yeah.
Now
Yes.
beach what's going on.
Summer
You
here,
can
summer here.
grow a beard, and you can play golf, buddy. Things are turning around, fella.
Things are looking up. Well, I went down I played golf. I don't know all the places to go. We went to Michigan. Who goes to Michigan
Nice
for
courses
golf?
there.
There's some nice courses there, but it happened to be a 60-mile winds, and we're trying to put this
Ooh.
ball out there. 60-mile winds.
Forget
Trees
it.
are falling, so it was pretty brutal, but got one good day in.
Awesome.
Well, listen, Robbie, anything else before we let Joe go?
Man, thank you for coming on, pal. It was sure a pleasure to talk to you again. I know it's been a couple years, but stay healthy, and I hope your daughter does well. She's in soccer.
She's in
That's
soccer.
right. Yeah,
she's in soccer.
Good luck to her, and hopefully we see you soon, pal. Miss you.
I miss you guys too, man. I'm sure I'll get up there sometime this year and see you guys, man. Love you guys, man. Miss you guys, and you guys are still kicking it together, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Hey, we're doing what we got to do. Listen, Joe, we love you, brother. I know the fans love you.
Hey, both of you guys, tell your wives I said hello.
We will.
Oh, you know we will.
Yeah.
You know we will.
All
Listen,
right,
everybody,
man.
this is the incomparable Joe Montford. This is the Morreale and Hitch podcast for myself, for Joe, for Rob Hitchcock, and for David Butko behind the scenes. It's been a pleasure. Great talking to you, Joe, and we'll talk to you again soon. Have a great day.
You've been listening to Morreale and Hitch, literally the worst podcast we have on the Ticats audio network. While they may not, we value your feedback. Let us know your thoughts by email, hitmnh@ticats.ca. For the latest on your Hamilton Tiger Cats, subscribe to the Ticats audio network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.